Hi, I'm Lara Hodgson, co-founder and CEO of Nourish. Nourish is the first patented spill-proof bottled water for kids and ready-to-serve baby bottle. You know, we started with the brand, we kind of evolved the image, then we got to the tactics of, okay, real people have to make real things. But before everyone's off in their own corners doing parts, let's get everybody on the same page. Once we left that meeting, I had the confidence that we could start. And so then it was, actually ordering materials and putting prototypes together and trying to figure out how it was going to look. And in the process, we were selling, right? I mean, at that point, I had something. It didn't look like this. It wasn't pretty. It was like a milky white form. But I could go out to retailers, et cetera, and say, hey, what do you think? I've got this great new idea. Look, you just add the formula, shake, serve, recycle, reuse, or I've got this one and look, you can't spill it. So I could show the functionality even though it wasn't the real product. And the challenge we had with that was that every retailer we met with said, oh my God, this is great. When can we have it? It's like, we hadn't made it yet, right? But that's the beautiful thing is we were selling them on sort of the emotional attachment to the product. We didn't actually have the product yet. That was in the works. And we told them that. But what we also found was we started to learn more about the retailers, right? Because everyone assumed that if you're going to sell this, you would go to the large grocery stores, right? That's where you sell things. But as we started talking to them and they said, oh, we love the idea. Why don't we do a 30-store test? We'll give it 6 months and then we'll sit down and if it works, we'll roll it out to all the other stores. Sounded like a great proposal, except for I went home that night and I thought, let's just play this out in my mind. So we're gonna put this on the shelves of 30 stores and nobody knows it exists, nobody knows what it's for, and nobody knows what to do with it. And 3 months from now, I'm gonna be sitting back against the table that I'm at today. And the gentleman across from me is going to say, Laura, it didn't really sell that much. It must not be a product people want or need, which would be an unfair conclusion, but an appropriate conclusion because I didn't have the money to market it. And what no one had ever told me, most people think that stores are there to sell things. They're actually not. Stores do not spend money to sell your product. What stores do is give you space. It's a real estate deal, right? You can go here. But if you want people to come in and buy it, you're the one who has to run the ads on the weekends and do the circulars and put the billboards out and all this other stuff. And I didn't have money for that. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to go in this big retailer. I don't have the money to support it. I'm going to kill myself. So 3 months from now, I'm going to actually kill the brand before I gave it a chance to start. So we said, what would we never do? So who are we trying to sell to? We're trying to sell to a mom or a dad or a babysitter or an aunt or a grandmother that's got a young child with them and they're out of the house and they need to be able to feed or hydrate the child and they don't want to give them sugary, sticky drinks. Where are you when that need is the most painful for you? And every parent gladly shares their painful moments, right? Most parents in hindsight laugh about it at the time, like it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up when you describe the time that you were out with your child and they were screaming. And what we discovered was that the places that people have the biggest need are not the grocery stores, right? Their biggest need is when they're in the airport and they just went through security and the lovely TSA officer has taken all of your liquids and now your child is hungry and thirsty and your plane is delayed and the only thing they sell are very large 20-ounce refrigerated things, which you cannot use to make a bottle, right? So we started in airports and that did well. And then we said, okay, what about entertainment venues, right? Kids go to the zoo, they go to the Children's Museum, they go to the botanical gardens. These are the times when you want to be having fun with your child. And so you will do anything to preserve the fun. Because the minute the fun is gone, you're not getting it back, right? And the child's now screaming and you just want to go home and you've just ruined your family time. So we really targeted those places where the need was the greatest, because if we can save you from that moment of pain, then you'll look for us later. And there's no competition, right? I mean, when I'm in a grocery store, you're looking at a long aisle of products, all of whom have way more money than I do and can scream louder. So sitting on the shelf next to every other brand was not going to help me. So, the idea was, where can we go where we have a captive customer with a very high need and pain point. Interestingly enough, they also have a much lower tolerance for what they pay, right? I mean, they'll spend the extra dollar, and it's not noisy because I don't have enough money to scream loudly.